This is Coach Chris Holtman. You're listening to Drive the Lane podcast.
Drive the Lane podcast. We are coming to you live from our studio. We got a good episode today for you guys. You know, we talked to another NBA player, Duncan Robinson, who's currently 12th in the NBA in three-point percentage and 7th in the NBA in made threes. We're hoping to be cheering him on in the three-point contest. You know, we talk a little bit about Joey getting back into the basketball world. We'll explain that to you. And we talk a little bit about the Buckeyes, but not too much because we know how sad that can make Joey. So we just glaze over Buckeye basketball. But before we get to all that, finally, we have our shirt. The Drive the Lane shirt is online, highstreettees.com/DTL. Please get a shirt. If you do get a shirt, show us proof, and we will shout you out in the next episode. We are going to save you money on all your High Street Tees gear, including our shirt. With our promo code DTL15, that gets you 15% off of your entire order. Get the shirts. They are cool. They are comfy. High Street Tees has great gear, and they got even better with the addition of the Drive the Lane shirt. Joey, what do you think?
I think if you like puppies and warm weather and
pina coladas and getting caught in the rain,
and sunrises on the beach, that you would like our t-shirts. If you like basketball, you like sports, you like video games, you like music, you like dancing, you like singing, you're gonna like our shirts.
Actually, just got a text that said if you guys buy shirts, Ohio State will go on a win streak.
I also got this is weird timing, but I got a text from Andrew Dockich that said if you guys buy shirts and tweet it at him, then he'll follow you back.
Yeah.
So tweet it at me and I'll send it to him and then he'll follow you back.
I just got an Instagram direct message from Coach Mata that said, "Tell everyone to buy the shirts." All right, let's get to the episode. Buy the shirts. highstreettees.com/DTL. Promo code DTL15. Wear your shirts, and when you wear them, buckle up and drive the lane.
All right. Did we mention that we have t-shirts? Because we have t-shirts. So
we have t-shirts. Yes, we do. We have t-shirts. How about you?
You probably don't because you don't have a super, super successful college basketball podcast like we do. But
who were you talking to, Titus?
I was just shout out to Titus, man. That's good for him getting that and Tate, obviously.
Well,
heading over to Fox
because I'm the Tate of the show.
Heading over to Fox and Westwood One and all that good stuff. It's pretty awesome. So happy for him. Maybe one day I'll get to be a guest on their show. They always joke with me about coming on, but they're probably not serious, but I can't tell anymore, so I don't know.
I feel like now,
why would they?
There's less of a chance you'll be on.
Oh, I don't, yeah.
But I could see them doing like a walk-on. Like I could see if they talk about the new foundation.
Yeah.
I could see them bringing you on for like 5 minutes.
Maybe, we'll see. But yeah, that's not what this episode's about. This episode is about my basketball career and how it is so back. It couldn't be any more back. It's just, oh my God.
Shout out
incredible.
Coach K.
Yeah.
With his back.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm a basketball player again. It all started actually this morning. I went and woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go play pickup basketball at the local JCC with my good friend and co-host Andrew Zolden.
It was my league. I allowed you to come and play. You used my guest pass.
I did. I used his guest pass. It was a lot of fun. Great group of guys. Shout out to Lou if you're listening. And so I'm back. I played pretty well for not touching a ball in like 6 months. But it was just more about everyone's out there just trying to get a good running, get a sweat, have some fun.
I think someone else played pretty well too that you might want to mention.
Oh, yeah, my teammate was Andrew. Obviously, we have some great chemistry. We had some great drive and drift passes. Every time Andrew got the ball, I was yelling, "Put it on mixtape!"
I had some good crossover.
You had some mixtape.
I played. That was probably like the best you've ever seen me play.
Well, I've only seen you play like
we
4 times.
Played each other in high school like 50 times.
I don't remember.
I'm just talking about in all our lives, in all our years of life.
You're right. You were killing the 50-year-old Jews today. Good shit.
I was.
We both were. I think we went 2-2 though, but
yeah, we lost a couple games.
That's okay.
Well, you were shooting
Mark.
You were shooting 1-foot threes and drilling them.
Yeah,
that was sweet.
Yeah, it's just, man, welcome back. It feels good to be back. But the real reason I'm back, this is kind of a joke. The real reason I'm back.
I think this needs a drum roll. Let's see if we can find it. Nope,
we don't have a drum roll, do we? It's not. It's really quiet too.
We have the drum. All right, well then we'll give it some. And Joey's going to tell you why he is officially back in the basketball world.
Oh my God, are you guys excited? I got asked to be a part of the Team USA Olympic practice team. I know what you're going to say, Joey. Why would you be on the team practicing against LeBron and Steph Curry and all these guys? Why wouldn't they just have Duncan Robinson? Why wouldn't they just have some young NBA guys, maybe great college players be on that team? Well, my answer to that is it's the women's team. And I will be playing against some of the best women's players to ever play the game. Short list of Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Elena Delle, Brittney Griner, Breanna Stewart, Ohio State's own Kelsey Mitchell, just to name a few. I will be one of 6 or 7 guys on the practice team playing against them for 3 days in like a little basketball mini camp out in Chicago during All-Star Weekend. So LeBron will probably pull up and watch. So
if you get a
that'll be the first time he watches me play.
If you get a +1, you're bringing me.
Yeah, sure. I don't know what that. I don't think there'll be tickets.
You think LeBron is going to pull up to that?
I mean, it's during All-Star Weekend. He doesn't want to watch the best women play too. I'm just saying. Crazier things have happened. All I'm saying is
that is not what I was saying, that he doesn't want to watch the best women play.
What
I was saying is all the stuff going on in All-Star Weekend, I don't know if he's going to come to a USA women's scrimmage.
Hey, man, they're the best basketball.
That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. There's just so many events he needs to get ready to watch Duncan Robinson win the three-point contest.
That's true.
We're going to have to cut a lot of this if, like, tonight it gets announced Duncan Robinson not to participate in NBA three-point contest.
But
are you excited?
Yeah, I'm so excited. I think, number one, it forces me to get back into shape because I'm not in good shape right now. Number two, it gives me an excuse to not only get back in shape, but also work on basketball and have some fun doing basketball stuff leading up to it. Because I have about 3 weeks to a month to try and become a good enough basketball player where I don't embarrass myself again. And then, number three, I'm going to get to be in the presence of some of men or women, some of the best basketball players ever. And like, you know, I'll be handling the ball a lot, and Sue Bird will be guarding me. Like, Sue Bird is so awesome. So,
breaking news. I'm going to break some news right now.
Sure.
If you ever want me to rebound for you or run you through some drills between now and then, I would be happy to.
Oh, thank you.
Breaking news.
You heard it here on the Drive Lane Podcast.
Yeah. So, with that being said, not to steal Joey's thunder, but that officially makes me a part of this.
Yeah. I mean, as my +1, you're a part of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am really excited about it. And the fact that it's in Chicago and over All-Star Weekend will be really fun. Just the atmosphere will be really cool, I think. I don't even know if it's open to the public.
If it's open to the public, I'll be there for sure.
Right. I don't know if it's open to the public or not, obviously. But
maybe I could get a media pass. I could get credentialed for the scrimmage.
Funny. And then you interview, and then I interview me.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, exactly. I interview me for the Drive Lane. Joey, what do you think?
That would literally be
what's going through your head when you come off the...
Look at us.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, that's literally the Spider-Man meme. I'd be like...
You got your memes mixed up.
No, I'd be the Spider-Man. Both pointing at the...
No, that's just people who are similar. So Duncan Robinson and Dockage via phone calls are similar.
No. Duncan Robinson and John Diebler pointing.
Well, Ryan Day and a goat.
Ohio State basketball in a dumpster fire.
Jesus. Whoa.
Oh,
do I have to cut that?
Did I say that out loud?
Whoa.
Okay.
I texted Joey today, fire Holtman, or Holtman hot seat, and he was not happy.
Whoa. Yeah, no, if we can get real for a hot second.
Well, anything else you want to say about the scrimmage before we move on?
I'm really excited. Shout out to Michael Alfieri who helped me get that spot. It's going to be a lot of fun. And honestly, I'm most excited because I get to play some serious basketball, like and compete, which I haven't competed in a really long time. So that'll be really fun. But yeah.
Before you go, buzzer going off. The frauds are doing it again.
The frauds.
Illinois
is finding a way to try and lose this game.
After being up 15, they are now only up 3 at home against Northwestern. The frauds are doing it again. 44 seconds left, 3-point game. Frank William Abagnale Jr., as we call Illinois, from Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, geez.
Just cannot stay clean. He can't do it. Even if they win this game, it's a fraud.
No, it's not.
Fraud.
It's hard to win in the Big Ten.
Not at home against the worst team in the country.
Good point, but they've had close losses, including 5 to Michigan State, 5 to DePaul, 1 to Hartford, and 4 to Indiana.
Wow, that was pretty impressive that you knew all that.
Yeah, well, I know my Big Ten stats.
Yeah, but still, Hartford, why would they put that on there?
Because it was a close loss.
Okay, well,
they didn't put anything on there. That was off the top of my head. What are you talking about?
And I guess we can't really do a whole lot of talking because we'd love if Ohio State had a close loss today.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to group all these losses together and talk about how bad of a streak it is. But if you look at them separately, there's a few that are not great losses, obviously, and you don't want to lose any games. But at Indiana, at Penn State, those places are really, really hard to win. At
Minnesota.
Trust me. At Minnesota, trust me. I've done it.
At Maryland.
At Maryland. Those are all – listen to those games. I mean, those are all games that, yeah, it would be great to win those games. But, we're taking care of business and we're beating Nebraska at home and we're beating Penn State by 100 at home and then we lost to Wisconsin.
But the Penn State win at home is so – that almost feels like a completely different season.
I know it does, and it's been a tale of 2 seasons. And it is very frustrating, and I keep trying to be the voice of reason to keep everyone upbeat and stuff. The Big Ten might have 11 teams in the NCAA tournament. We're fine. We're so
11?
fine. Yeah.
Is Ohio State going to be one of those?
Yes, they are. They are. Oh my God.
I'm gonna go back to it until it changes. Again, the turning point of the season for whatever reason was that Kentucky game. You can laugh and shake your head all you want. Ohio State and Kentucky completely.
Illinois dagger. They just hit a dagger. Sorry.
Damn it.
Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, they're back. But
they're so bad.
That was just such a.
They're 5-2, by the way, in the Big Ten.
Aren't turning points usually?
And we call them a fraud.
Well, because they're going to lose to Ohio State or something, and that
wouldn't make them a fraud.
Yeah, that'd be a bad loss. If they lost to Ohio State, that'd be a bad loss.
Stop it.
I'm happy Dwayne Washington's back. He's quickly turning into my favorite player. Quickly, quicker than DJ Carton on a fast break when he slips.
Yeah. Okay, stop hating on these guys. Those are my teammates, former teammates.
Not DJ Carton.
Yeah, I recruited him. It counts.
All right, fair.
But yeah, that's the end of the Ohio State pity hour.
What do you think? Let's ask you this because we can talk some positives. What do you think? Because now everyone's back and healthy besides Musa, who we're not even sure if he's playing this season. But everyone's back. What needs to happen? If you're in that locker room, what do you think Holtman is saying? I guess not locker room. If you're in the practices moving forward.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a huge concentration on making 2-point shots, which sounds weird just in the basketball world that we live in, but making 2-pointers, especially in the paint, I don't know what our 2-point field goal percentage was, but it was probably terrible. Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's something that Coach Pete and I, we always talked about how it's important to shoot well from the field, that matters, but you can always tell how well the offense is doing based on your 2-point field goal percentage. So that's something that I think is important, just finishing through contact. Caleb gets fouled on every single play, but usually he's finishing them, and all of a sudden, a lot of guys are not making layups. DJ Carton's getting into the lane, and he's got the open floater, and he's just missing it. So trying to figure out a way to make those. Oh my God, Northwestern just made a 3 and cut it to 2.
But specifically today, though, Joseph, Ohio State scored a lot.
They got fouled. They were in the double bonuses with 14 minutes left in the game.
But normally,
and Penn State was up by 15. They didn't have to play defense.
It's tough to lose when Caleb's not. It's tough to lose. It's probably frustrating to lose when Dwayne gives you 20 and Caleb gives you 20, and you can't find enough other points to win.
No, sorry.
Dwayne also proving again that he would be the best player on any team in the country.
Jeez, points are great, obviously, and you could say that it's just not. I mean, yeah, we scored 76 points, but it was not one of those games. It's just not one of those games. It's hard to explain. Penn State scored 90, which is terrible. They're so good at home though because that place is just. They had the most fans they've ever had in a game. They just love playing.
They had the upper deck open, which they said is never open.
Jeez, yeah. I
got faith in Holtman. We're fine.
They just play so well against us every game, except for that other game. But I mean, I'm not worried. It's just so frustrating. It's just Today was probably like the worst game we've played too. Even though we scored 76 points, it just was like never close and just I don't know.
I just watched your mood go from good to bad real quick.
I know, it's just
we also need to get back in the habit of watching games together. That could be a big turning point.
Yeah, whose fault was that today?
Well, it was partially my fault, but it was also we thought we were going to be together recording with Duncan. It was just scheduling error.
Your fault.
All right, I'll take the blame.
Yeah, you better
I'll take the blame. What else should we talk about before we get to Duncan Robinson? Anything else on your mind, Joe? Joseph?
Anything else on my mind?
College basketball's annoying. You know what? I'm going to say this, and I think you're going to agree with me.
3 unranked teams, or 6 top 5 teams lost to unranked teams this week.
College basketball is exciting.
It's not impossible.
That's
impossible.
College basketball is exciting, of course. It's boring this year. There's no Zion. There's no Trae Young.
Oh, my God.
Is it our ball?
Oh, no. It's Illinois' ball. They just ran the old football out of bounds play where you run and it's always the guy that goes short that they throw it to. Who's it out on? It's not even close.
Oh, yeah. It's off Northwestern. But, people always complain, it's not fair when Duke gets 5 top 6 recruits. It's not fair that the Warriors are blah, blah. NBA is less fun to watch this year without the Warriors, but that's also due to, in part, that they're all injured. It's not that they're not playing. And I wish that there was a team like Duke that was dominant and beat everyone. That's more exciting. People can complain all they want about teams being too dominant in college basketball or college football. How unbelievable was this dominant season from LSU? How fun was watching Zion last year?
I'm always have been, always will be college basketball, college sports over professional sports, and it's not even like.
Yeah, no. College football is the best, but NFL is so good.
No, college football is the best, but it's also a 5-hour game.
Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, we have basketball, but after the Super Bowl.
College baseball, dude.
After the Super Bowl.
College baseball's coming up.
Shut down.
College baseball's coming up.
We're going to have to,
don't forget college baseball
stuff once.
Don't forget college baseball.
Super Bowl's over.
People get so sad when football season's over. I love it.
We didn't even talk any football in this episode.
Who cares?
Wait. Master Teague. We just had to get that in there.
Master Teague, and I'm the biggest Titans fan ever, by the way. They were my whole fantasy team, which you talked about. And every week I'm like, you know what? It would be a good bet to throw 40 on the Titans money line. And then they win each week, and I never did it. And then this week I'm not going to do it again, and hopefully they win.
I'm going to give you guys some betting advice and this is a little, no pun intended, teaser for next week's episode. We're going to talk a lot of gambling in next week's episode, but tease the Chiefs and tease the tease the Titans and tease the Packers. That's I think both games are 7 or 7.5. Tease those up to 14 each. We're gonna have some close conference game or conference championships.
Illinois just won, I think.
We're gonna have some close division championships.
What are they doing? That was so weird.
The frauds.
Northwestern's down 4 with 6 seconds left. They took 7 seconds to shoot a shot.
The frauds win.
They passed it backwards.
Oh, wait. Okay, quickly. Gambling, what I was saying. Tease the underdogs.
Yeah.
Because then if it's a close game, you're going to win your bets.
Should we talk about the Astros?
Yes.
Astros. Here's my stance on sign stealing. I don't know. Did you play baseball growing up and stuff? Seriously, did you play in high school or anything?
Funny story. So I played baseball, and I got hit in the eye with a ball and got a black eye in 4th grade, and that was the end of my baseball career.
That's a hilarious story.
Yeah. I actually played a little after that, but I was so afraid of the ball after getting hit in the eye.
Yeah, I feel that. I was not a total hit me ball kind of
guy.
If I
played competitively, I would have stolen the fuck out of some signs. That's right up my alley for baseball, trying to get the competitive advantage.
Yeah, okay, that's perfect. So that leads me right into it. So when I was growing up, first I'll say this is my opinion on sign stealing. If you're doing it organically, no technology, just the human interactions.
Well, that's allowed.
I'm good with that. It's not
that's
cheating.
Allowed when the guy's on second base and looking at the...
Exactly. So, God, that's a perfect segue. That's why we're so good together.
When
I was growing up, and I played till I was a sophomore in high school, my teammates, we were together since 3rd grade. We would always... if the guy was on second base, we would say first name was a fastball, last name was some kind of off-speed pitch, changeup, or when we got older, curveball and stuff like that. because when you're on second base and you're taking the leadoff, you can see the signs from the catcher. And growing up, it was always 1 was fastball and 2 was changeup, or wiggle the fingers was changeup or whatever. And so if I was on second base, I'd be like, all right, come on, Joey. What do you say, Joey? Come on, Joey. And the kidder knew that it was a fastball coming. Or I would say, all right, Lane. What do you say now, kid? What do you say, Lane? And that meant a change was coming. So that's where I stand on the sign stealing. I mean, if it comes out that, Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve wore buzzers that, they buzzed once if it was a fastball, buzzed twice if it was a changeup or whatever, they got to be suspended for, I mean, not a lifetime ban, but
Pete Rose
maybe
was a lifetime ban.
Yeah, I mean, if A-Rod, that's cheating to do better. I mean, sign stealing is probably, like, I heard some kid ask Wilson Contreras, the catcher for the Cubs, if you knew a pitch was coming every time, how many home runs would you hit? And that's true. These guys are too good to know a pitch is coming. It's like steroids on steroids.
I just cannot believe that video where Altuve says, "Don't rip off my jersey, don't rip off my jersey."
Right?
That is like the craziest video ever. Number 1 craziest. And Cal getting ejected is number 2. Go like that on the Twitter. But how do you think there could be stealing or cheating in basketball? Just stealing.
It's not cheating.
Or...
It's not cheating, but in high school for Deerfield, like, we would watch so much film and know every single play call, so that, like, we played Warren in the playoffs my senior year, and we knew that they wrote all their plays on a whiteboard, and so we knew the names of each one too. So, like, if they ran 32 twist, we knew exactly what was coming because we worked at it. It wasn't like cheating, but it's like sign stealing kind of,
So, in college, and definitely NBA, in college, would you change the names of plays or insert new plays when you were playing against Michigan, who you're familiar with, or Michigan State that you're familiar with, that maybe Izzo's been running
the whole
theme? Do you change at the beginning of the year?
No, never. No, the whole theme of college basketball, and like Coleman and Mata both said this in separate occasions, they know what plays in the Big Ten. They know what plays coming. That's why you got to execute. That's why you got to screen. That's why you got to take care of the ball. Like, that's why you have different options of each play. Like, they know what's coming. It's just a matter of executing. So that's why you have different options. Like I said, that's why you have different options and different reads that point guards can have and stuff. Like, all of that goes into it. Like, Tom Izzo runs the same plays every single year, the same calls. I remember all of them. Like, if he holds up a fist, they're running a down screen and they're throwing it right into the post of the guy that screened the guy. Like, it's just a matter of, can you stop? Can you front Nick Ward and not let him catch that ball? Mm-hmm. Well, if you do, they're flashing the high post and throwing a high-low. So it's like I said, you can know all the plays. We can tell you what plays coming. That doesn't matter if you can't stop it.
Yeah, makes sense. So we'll get to our interview with Duncan Robinson, another unbelievable 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
Speaking of threes above high is the place to go to watch your Buckeyes lose.
Whoa, my gosh.
Sorry. But it's the place to go for college basketball. It's the place to go for the Super Bowl, because this is coming out after the divisional championships. So it's the place to go for the Super Bowl. And it's the place to go to watch Duncan Robinson win the 3-point contest. What do you think about that, Joe? What do you say, Joe?
Fastball's coming all that. Duncan was so awesome. I've talked to Duncan a couple of times through our mutual friend, Andrew Dockage. What do you have to say about
threes above high?
He loves threes above high. And it's so funny that, like, when he came in on the road, like, he would text me and be like, yo, Joe, are people going to threes above high tonight? And I'd be like, yeah, every night, dude. It's packed all the time. So, Duncan's a huge promoter of threes above high, which is weird as a Michigan guy, like, to promote a rival school, like, favorite bar. Like, that's weird, but he does it. So he's a good guy for that. But it was a great interview with Duncan. We had a lot of fun with him. I mean, it makes sense just because he comes from the Dockage tree that it would be a fun interview, and we had some fun with him, and hopefully he's in the 3-point contest, because that would be a lot of fun.
I think if his parents could rename him, they would name him Shooting Robinson, because he doesn't do a whole lot of dunking. All right, buckle up and drive the lane. Please enjoy this interview.
Buy our shirts.
Please enjoy this interview. We'll talk to you after the interview. All right, we now welcome on to the Drive the Lane podcast, current Miami Heat basketball player Duncan Robinson. Duncan, welcome onto the show. How are we doing today?
I'm doing well. Appreciate you guys having me on. Definitely happy to be a part of it.
Do you prefer being introduced as current NBA player or former Division III player?
That's a good one. Honestly, man, however you want to do it is cool with me. Obviously, the Division III thing at this point has been, I don't want to say played out, but it's been well documented. Yeah, well documented, I guess you could say. So, with that being said, I also have a lot of pride and respect for Division III basketball. But so yeah, whatever you want to call it, man, I'm good with whatever.
I will say, I had my heart set on being, and everyone who knows me know that I was ready to roll as a Division III basketball player until Ohio State, which was my dream school, kind of came knocking. So I'm a huge fan of Division III basketball. Also, I still go to a ton of games. There's a college literally 5 minutes from my house, and we go and watch. Me and my dad go watch them play all the time. So I think a lot of people, and you obviously agree with me, don't quite understand how awesome Division III basketball is, because they're just as good as Division I guys most of the time, just without athleticism. That's kind of fair to say, right?
Yeah, it's a combination. If you end up at Division III, it's usually that you're lacking in something. Athleticism is a lot of times the case. I think the skill level, like you said, is usually pretty comparable, at least to like the low major level, or like low Division I, Division II. In other cases, it's like late bloomers and stuff like that. So like you said, I think that just in terms of the masses, I think a lot of people don't realize how good Division III basketball is. Like if you're playing past high school, then you're legit. I mean, that's the way I've always looked at it. And obviously I'm a little biased because I've kind of gone through that experience, but I got nothing but respect for Division III.
So this is the last thing I'll ask you about, or will ask you about, Division III basketball. What were you lacking then because it's for you to go to a Division III school? Or were you just a late bloomer, like you said?
Just about everything I was lacking. I was like not a good high school player. Some people don't necessarily realize that. Like my junior year of high school, I was not checking into games. Like coaches, DMP. Yeah. So like, I played JV as a freshman. I like barely made varsity on an incredibly average high school team as a sophomore. And then my senior year, I like kind of started to figure it out a little bit, but it was a growth spurt. I was 5'6" as a freshman. I ended up being like 6'6" as a senior. And I was just going into my body. And then, the skill started to like come around, and, confidence, obviously, as you know, is huge in the world of sports, particularly I think in basketball. So it was kind of like a perfect storm of everything. I had some timely injuries like in the recruitment process, which kind of I felt like held me back. So, I ended up at Williams, but I also loved being there, and it was a great spot for me, and it worked out for me, which was good.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're gonna move on to some NBA stuff. So no pun intended. Obviously, you're on the Heat, but you've been pretty hot from behind the 3-point line this year.
That's a good one, man. I like that. A little wordplay.
How much do you work on your shot? I want some numbers.
I mean, people ask me that all the time. In like high school and stuff, in college, like I used to have like shooting workouts or like weekly regimens where I try to get X amount of makes or this or that. And like, in time, I've just kind of learned that, you have a routine, but it's more so about just like the consistency of just every single day, and tweaking stuff. And, now I'm starting to realize, particularly like with this NBA season, that, some days rest and getting away from the game is just as valuable as like being in the gym. And, I've kind of always prided myself as somebody who, works on the game extra hours and all that sort of stuff, but I don't really have like a shooting workout or regimen that I can really share, because like, truth be told, I try to work on like game reps, as much as I can, like in workouts, but other than that, man, I don't really have much for you.
And why would you give away the secret also? So that's
that too. I could just be lying to you, honestly, and just be, withholding all the secret, workouts for myself. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, without giving too much, or our listeners may not follow basketball as much as Joey and I do, but for those of you out there who don't know, you're currently shooting about 43% from three, 42.8, and you've made 131 threes, which is good enough for 7th in the NBA. So that's incredible. What's the update on the 3-point contest? We doing it?
I'm not sure, man. I'd obviously love to be a part of it. As a kid who's always been into shooting, and that's kind of always been like my skill set that I've brought. It'd be pretty cool to be a part of it and have a chance to compete with some of the world's best. We'll see here in the next couple of weeks how the invitations and everything shake out. I think at this point, they've invited some of the bigger names, which I completely understand. And then, we'll see if I can make the cut. But at this point, I'm not really trying to get too caught up in all that and just trying to, focus on what I can control, which is, making shots in games and helping us win games.
Yeah, last week we had John Diebler on. We kind of talked about some other 3-point shooters that have been good or maybe that he likes watching. Is there a guy that you either not modeled your shot after but watched his kind of fundamentals or drills that he did, and even guys today that you kind of look at to learn from in terms of shooting?
Yeah, sure. I mean, first and foremost, I'd like to say John Diebler is a legend. I used to watch him a bunch just in high school, when he was at Ohio State. He's one of the best, obviously, in the Big Ten history, but I put him up there with anybody in terms of shooting. Obviously, he can really shoot it, but in terms of the NBA, Kyle Korver, Klay Thompson, JJ Redick, those are all guys that have done it at a really high level for a really long time. So those guys are probably the ones that jump out to me. Ever since I've been with the Heat, there's been a lot of watching like Ray Allen and how he got shots within our offense. And Wayne Ellington actually is another, example of somebody that I actually got to play with and kind of, he was a little bit of my mentor this last year. So it was great to learn from him. But I just try to pick and choose from different people. Joe Ingles and Joe Harris, both those guys, are also guys that, I really just enjoy watching and learning from.
Joe Harris was the guy that I think of when I think of you, kind of just in terms of not coming out of nowhere, but turning into one of the best shooters in the NBA virtually, in one season. And obviously he won the 3-point contest. So I just see that that road for you this year, obviously. And me telling my teammates last year as we all sat down and watched the 3-point contest that this kid, Joe Harris, Joey Buckets, is going to win the 3-point contest. They're like, no. And then I just can't wait to do that with you this year. That's the bottom line of that statement.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Like you said, I got the invite first, so we'll see how it all shakes out. I appreciate the confidence. That means a lot.
Yeah, and I did want to tell you right now I'm voting for you to be in the All-Star game. Done. Just did it. So you have at least one vote.
Well, I think 2, because I know my mom voted for me, so that makes 2. But I appreciate your support. It means a lot.
Do you ever go on there and vote?
No.
Oh, that's such a lie.
No, I really don't. So they have like player voting as well, which I don't know if I think they like weight it differently or whatever. So like we get sent links. So I filled out that. I mostly just filled out my teammates, particularly Jimmy and Bam, because I think they should both be all-stars, and just some other guys that I know around the league. But I can honestly say I have not voted for myself.
Did you put T.J. Warren on that list?
No, TJ and the Miami Heat organization, our relationship is frayed right now, to put it lightly. So, no, I definitely did not vote for TJ.
You were on the court for that altercation, weren't you?
I was, yeah.
Are you a break it up kind of guy, or are you a get in the mix, or are you a try to ignore it? What's your philosophy for those?
I'm a break it up probably type of guy, I would say, particularly with Jimmy, just because Jimmy's such a competitor, and sometimes he just kind of goes to this place, and it's part of what makes him such a good player. But he just kind of goes to this place where there's just no telling what he's going to do. So I did my part in trying to separate him. But with that being said, if Jimmy wanted to throw me out of the way, it would be very easy for him to do so. He's a strong guy. But I did what I could, I guess, in that instance.
Well, we're a big Heat podcast, and now even bigger because of you. But Kendrick Nunn, me and Andrew were both from the Chicagoland area, grew up watching him play in high school, and then obviously Jimmy Butler being one of the best Bulls in recent memory because we've stunk for the past 8 years or whatever. It's we are always rooting for Jimmy Buckets, and we're always rooting for him to get in a fight. It seems like because it makes for better Twitter stuff.
Yeah, no, he's reckless, man. On social media and stuff, like he has no filter. He's just gonna say what's on his mind. He's done some stuff this year. I don't know if you saw like the Trae Young thing after he beat the Hawks, when he reposted that, or like the TJ Warren stuff. So if it's on his mind, he's gonna post it. That's just kind of how he is.
As it should be.
Yeah, exactly. He's a great leader, great person to play with, and obviously, a huge reason as to why we've had the success we've had early on.
One more Jimmy Butler thing, then we'll move on from him. But obviously, everyone sees those social media things and the fights and the fight with Jared Dudley last year. Any kind of behind the scenes Jimmy stories that you can give us a little insight on?
I'm trying to think. I mean, so he was traveling a lot this summer, so he wasn't necessarily in Miami. But as far as a week or maybe 10 days before training camp, he got down to Miami for the first time, and we had open gym. And obviously you hear the stories of like, that practice he had in Minnesota, or just like how he acts in practices and the intensity that he brings. And we have an open gym, and pretty much the whole organization's like on the sideline watching. It's not like formal practice or anything. We're just kind of like playing, but it's definitely competitive. And about probably 2 or 3 games in, he just kind of just starts like getting on people, and just talking shit like crazy, barking at everybody. And it, just naturally, obviously, like the whole level changes, it just gets more intense. And, he brings the best out of everybody when he does that. But it was just funny to hear all the stories of the way he's handled things. I'm not saying it was as intense as like the Minnesota thing, but it was just funny to see it firsthand, him kind of go to that place of pushing people and challenging people. And it was cool for us because, a lot of us, kind of, or at least wanted to rise to the occasion and kind of challenge him back. And I think he kind of learned to, or just appreciated that. But it was funny to see it in person for sure.
So for some people, could definitely be like a welcome to the NBA like type moment. Is there anything that comes to mind for you when you think of like, oh shit, like this is the big leagues for you? Was there something that happened that made you think that?
I'm not sure exactly. Maybe last year, there were a handful of them, particularly like not necessarily in terms of our opponents, but like just being in the same locker room with D-Wade. That was incredible. Talk about a guy that I just like idolized and watched, pretty much my whole life, and to be on the same team as him. And at times, I didn't play much last year, but at times be on the same floor as him, was pretty special for sure. I think there was one moment maybe we were playing the Warriors, and like I said, I was firmly planted on the bench for most of last year. And KD hit like a turnaround right in front of our bench. And it was like great defense. I think Justice was guarding him, and like hand the ball contest, everything fading away like out of bounds, and it's just like straight net. And he just like turns around on our bench, basically letting everyone know that like nobody can guard him. And it was just like this moment of like, that guy's really good at basketball. So there's nothing like super specific, but just like little moments like that where you watch guys your whole life, and then all of a sudden it's like you're asked to compete and play against them. It's pretty crazy. Don't you think?
So Dwayne Wade obviously not on the team anymore. Don't you think it's time for the Heat to move on and stop tweeting and talking about him?
That's kind of mean.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love him. I've been following the Heat social media accounts for years now. They post little videos after every win. I know you're not very active on social media, but I love all the Heat stuff that they post about this year's team and D-Wade and everything. You got to be pretty psyched.
They love you. They're always posting about you, and you don't even go on social media, right?
I appreciate it. I'm on it lightly, here and there. I'm not on Twitter. I'll go on Instagram every now and then. Sometimes I'll try to delete it for little stretches just so, clear my mind or whatever. But I'll download it every now and then and go on. But yeah, the D-Wade thing, man, it's almost hard to explain to people, unless you're in Miami, how much this dude is loved. Which makes sense. I mean, he spent basically his entire career there besides a couple stints in, Cleveland and Chicago. And, brought the city championships, Hall of Famer, first ball, all that stuff. But he is like literally the king of Miami. Like it's unbelievable. So I understand. I think that the reason why they're just still blasting stuff out about him is because they know people love it, and you know, like you can't go wrong with a D Wade post because everyone's gonna like it.
So, okay, this is a real question. You can give your honest opinion. This is a safe zone.
By the way, we just followed you on Instagram.
Who's the real king of Miami? Is it Dwayne Wade or is it Pitbull?
That's a tough one. I mean, Pitbull's got Mr. 305 on lock. That nickname.
Or DJ Khaled. Oh, my God. I can't forget him either. Oh, my God.
Yeah, Khaled's a legend for sure. I still got to go D-Wade. I just think that there's levels to it, man, and I think D-Wade is just on the top floor, in my opinion. Maybe I'm a little biased. I don't know.
I think you're a little biased, but I would probably agree just because we're basketball guys.
Are you more of a Pitbull guy?
I mean, Timber is the best song of the decade, probably.
Because the harder they fall, Timber. No,
exactly.
Yeah.
It literally.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt he makes it. It's 100%. And the thing I didn't realize is he does like a lot of like philanthropic stuff in the city. Like he's built multiple schools and has given back to the city a lot, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean that's the Pitbull you don't see.
Yeah, exactly. That the mainstream media doesn't get to see.
Speaking of music, I came up with a little song for you that I'm sure you've heard before, but if you haven't, I would love to be the first to sing it to you. So,
oh dear, what do we got?
Has anyone ever said to you, "Here's to you, Duncan Robinson"? Na, 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 na,
yeah. I've heard that
so
one
mad.
quite a bit.
I've been waiting to sing that to you.
Well, ever since Doc gave you or gave me your number, Andrew's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna sing this song to him. He's gonna love it." I'm like, he's probably heard it a few times.
Yeah. That one is incredibly played out. The other one that's incredibly played out is the Dunkin' Donuts thing. I mean, I'm from like the Northeast, which obviously Dunkin' Donuts is like, you know, basically another form of religion in Boston. So it's like I just heard Dunkin' Donuts my entire life. And people, it's crazy to me. People still think that they're like creative or original when they say it to me. It's like, I couldn't even tell you how many people have said that before you. Like, it's gone out of hand.
Well,
but that also,
Mrs.
Robinson is also.
Yeah,
it doesn't even make sense.
I don't know.
Runs on Miami. The Miami Heat run on Duncan.
Well, okay, jeez. But I was gonna say that they call you your name is Duncan. They call you Dunkin' Donuts, and you just shoot threes. So it doesn't,
Yeah, it really doesn't. But they just love it. I don't know.
Would you do better in
It's
the 3-point contest or the dunk contest?
Would I do better?
I meant the skills contest. Oh, that's so
skills
soft,
contest or dunk contest.
Skills or dunk contest.
Probably the skill. There's nothing anybody would want to see with the dunk contest.
Yeah, but the sneaky athletic guy, that's you.
Oh, I don't even know if you can call me sneaky athletic.
That's fair.
Do you know this?
I'm 6'8", so like I obviously can dunk, but it's nothing to behold. I promise you that.
All right, that's fair.
Do you know the song Wagon Wheel? They're like, "Rock me, mama, like a wagon."
Yeah, sure.
So you've definitely never heard this one. So I used to sing when you guys had one of your best teams because I bet on you guys to, like in my bracket, to win it all. I used to sing "Rock Me, Mama, Like a Wagon Wheel." Hey, Abdul Rockman. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like Duncan Robinson. Hey, Abdul Rockman. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah. So
please don't tell him it's good because he just does this with
I used to have
everyone.
a full song to it with all the names of the players because what's his face is on the team? Who's on the Clippers now?
Derek Walton.
Yeah, Derek Walton. Yeah, he was part of the song. So I had a full song.
I appreciate that you were rooting for Michigan and not your boy at Ohio State.
Let's make it clear. He went to Missouri.
I did go to Mizzou. My friends make fun of me, though, because I do like Ohio State. But Michigan basketball, I loved watching you guys. So I will say that.
I appreciate that, man.
There's nothing worse than watching you guys get hot at the end of the year.
We had some good runs at Michigan. We were always a little shaky to start the year, but we kind of put it together come March, which I guess is all that matters.
It's all that matters. Peak at the right time.
Did Beeline ever call you a slug?
I don't think he ever called me a slug. No. He called me some other things. Never a slug, though.
What'd you think? We don't have to talk a lot about it because I'm sure you have only good things to say about him. But what'd you think when that kind of weird story came out?
like you said, I have nothing but love for Coach Beeline. And I honestly wish him nothing but the best. I think he's in a little bit of a tough situation, particularly as a first-year NBA head coach. The organization is, they have this kind of weird mix of young guys and older guys who've won. And it's just a tough place to be. But yeah, man, I don't know. I definitely don't think that he meant anything, ill-hearted or meant in any way to like offend those guys. Obviously, I mean, Coach Beeline is like one of the most thoughtful, caring people I've ever met. So I don't think at all that he meant anything against anybody. And I also think that he was, when he apologized and all that, and then he honestly thought he said something else. I think he was telling the truth just because he's, I know he's a honest, and definitely somebody who prides himself on his integrity.
One of the other things that kind of came out maybe a little bit before it all went down was that he was sticking with his college sayings and thing for different actions and different basketball plays and whatever. And I know some of them because Doc told me like polar bear and stuff like that. What was your favorite Beeline-ism?
Yeah, man, he had a bunch. So like we had a whole like set that was called Jungle. So he would basically name all of the actions out of that set animals. So we had like lions, tigers, bears, polar bears. Yeah, we had everything. I'd probably just say that in general. Just that playing out of the jungle is what we call it.
Playing out of the jungle. That's so awesome. God,
yeah,
stop making me like Michigan basketball.
Yeah, which is pretty funny. Super unique to him, obviously. Like he literally created his own basketball language, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, he's. I mean, I'm an Ohio State fan through and through, but like obviously, there's no rivalries for respect, and I think he was definitely the most underrated college basketball coach, but he's probably one of the best also, and it stinks that you're totally spot on. I think I agree with you that it's just a little bit of a crummy situation with him. I mean, it's just
yeah. I mean, his track record in college I think speaks for itself, and just some of the things that he was able to do, just climb the ranks. He's got a pretty cool story. So I hope that and I'm confident that he will be able to turn around at some point in Cleveland. At least I hope he does.
What do you think of the new coach down there or up there now in
the
Michigan?
New head ball coach?
Juwan?
Yeah.
I love Juwan. I got to know him my first year in Miami. He was on staff there as well. So, him and I obviously connected off the Michigan thing, but just getting to spend that year with him. I mean, he's like a legend, man. Obviously, the cultural icon with the Fab Five stuff, but 19-year NBA career and champion All NBA guy. I can't imagine a high school kid going on a visit there and not wanting to play for that type of guy. And he cares about his players so much. And they've hit a little bit of a rough patch here. I know they lost their last two, but I have nothing but confidence that he'll turn it around.
Have you kind of noticed that there's some similarities between Ohio State and Michigan basketball right now, where everyone loves the head coach and loves what's going on, and they both started out super, super, super smoldering hot, and now they've hit a rough patch? You think it's because me, Dockich, and you have left the programs?
That's the only explanation I can think of.
Yeah.
Just talk about three just absolute pillars, particularly you two, of a program and of excellence.
Yeah, we should probably – it would be bad if we didn't talk about Dockich because he's one of the only two-time guests of this show, which is kind of more our fault versus him being awesome.
Which you will be soon eventually.
Yeah, you'll
After
eventually.
After the three-point contest, you'll come back on.
Yeah, you'll join. I mean –
you've had Doc on twice?
Yeah, we've had Doc on twice. Once because he begged us, and then the second time because we don't want to show our cards, but some other guests came, they didn't quite come through. So we had to, like we were going to have Ryan Archidiakonos, and we settled for the college basketball version of him.
Fair enough. That's a good comparison right there, actually.
Yeah, thanks. That was right off the top of the old head. But yeah, we need you to talk about Doc and your friendship with him and how it was playing against him for a year and all that good stuff. We need to hear all about that because that's all the listeners care about.
Doc's my guy. Obviously, we were roommates in Michigan, and still to this day are incredibly close. I have to admit, I was happy for him when he first went to Ohio State, just because I knew it would be a great opportunity for him. And, you know, he's as competitive as it gets. I know he wanted to, like, try himself against the best and play in the Big Ten, same conference as his dad. Obviously, he was at Michigan. He didn't get a ton of opportunity, but I knew that he would have more opportunity at Ohio State. I will say, though, losing to you guys, I want to say, what was it, probably November maybe? Or
it was December.
Yeah,
December.
Yeah, December of my senior year was one of my darkest moments at Michigan. Just seeing his smug face after you guys win and him just, like, basking in the moment genuinely pained me. And the funniest thing is, like, in the handshake lines, he wanted to have this, like, moment where we, like, embrace and, like, you know, just, like, really, you know, like, you see all the time on TV or whatever. And I just wanted absolutely no part of it. I gave him, like, the most half-hearted little high five and just kept it moving. Just because I couldn't overcome just the anguish that I had after that loss. And eventually I apologized for it, because I probably should have been more of a man about it, especially because when we played you guys on our senior night, he was great. After we, handled you guys.
God, how bad was Doc in that game? Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, and the crowd was crushing him.
Oh, it was so awesome.
It
was the only good part. I mean, the fact of the matter is we kind of lost the Big Ten championship because we lost that game, but I mean, that's not really a game you're supposed to necessarily win. It's hard to win on the road and stuff, especially on senior night. But I
thought you guys dropped another game before that.
We lost twice to Penn State. Once on the road.
That was it.
Once on the road by like 100, and Caleb got hurt, so like that was kind of a throwaway game the rest of the game. But I just remember after that game, telling my dad and stuff, I was like that stunk. Like, obviously I wish we would have won, but like, how awesome was it? Everyone cheering against Dockage.
Oh, they were crushing him, and rightfully so. Like, that's one of those moves that if you're going to make it, and once again, like I support it to this day fully. Like, I'm happy that he did it and he had that opportunity, and you guys had an awesome year. But if you're going to do that, like, you have to know what's coming.
Oh, he was ready for it. He was ready for it. But that was the first real big stage that he was, because that was the first all eyes on you for him, basically.
Yeah, and I think that was like a Saturday CBS game or something. It was like nationally televised, and just to see him get crushed by our home fans, that was fun. And I mean that in the most loving way, because I love Doc, but it's just it was great to see.
No,
that.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
I've met Dockage a couple times, and I've obviously only talked to you briefly, but you guys, I can tell why the two of you definitely get along, because you're very similar.
In a nice way. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
That's what I think.
The way, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you can just tell when people are destined to be friends. And I
think me and Doc are really good friends, but we're very opposite. And I'm sure
I always felt it with Doc, like, we brought each other balance. You know what I mean? Like, just in that we weren't necessarily like super alike, but
we're both white basketball players.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we both checked that box, but like, I don't know, we were close pretty much from day one. So maybe you're right. I don't know. And I joke. I mean, obviously Doc's the man, and I'm really close to him for a reason. Obviously, we share a lot of similarities, a lot of different things, but I don't ever want to be too much like Doc.
Yeah, you definitely have.
I hate that we're talking about him so much right now.
You definitely have more style, and what the kids say these days, drip.
Oh my God.
We want to talk about that a little bit, because you're a very well put together looking young man. What's it like down in Miami for you? What's the girl situation? You got a girlfriend?
I keep it pretty low key, honestly, man. Like, Miami's a crazy city. What I tell people is, like, there's a lot of different parts of Miami that you can do. So, like, obviously from the outside, a lot of people just kind of know Miami Beach and like the club scene and all that. Honestly, like, I pretty much stay away from that entirely. Occasionally, like, if my boys come into town or whatever, like in off season or whatever it is, we might venture over there. But like, for the most part, I'm pretty, like, I live kind of near the arena. I'm just kind of back and forth between there. And I'm also, obviously locked in right now on, an NBA season and trying to improve as a player and win some games. So I try not to get too caught up in, the city and all of its vices.
That's a great answer. And,
no pun intended or pun intended?
That was pun intended.
Okay, that was great because we were also just looking at you wearing that blue Miami Vice jersey. So that's a very cool video. The one that's on Instagram that has 100.
Yeah, Andrew's stalking your
views.
Instagram. He's stalking your Instagram. But it is funny because that answer that you gave is the same answer that Dockich would give if he was in your place. But then we'd hang up and he'd be like, "Dude, you gotta come down here. Like the the nightlife is awesome. Like I got like 3 really close friends we'll go out with." That's how I know you guys are different.
Yeah, I mean, Doc and I had our fun in Ann Arbor as well. He's an Ann Arbor legend. In case you guys didn't know. I mean,
I've heard some stories.
Yeah, he tore up that scene for about 4 years. So for me, I was just trying to keep up.
You're a little older too, or I guess kind of a lot older when there's guys who are 18 or 19 years old in the NBA. Is it weird for you that it's your second year in the NBA, but you're like older than probably 50% of the league or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's everyone's journey is different. It is funny though, like we were talking about Bam earlier. Like I said, I definitely think he should be an all-star, but like. He's considered like a vet on our team, and he's 22. And like I'm considered one of the young guys, and I'm 25. So it's like it doesn't really, it's basically like in terms of NBA years, obviously, because I still feel young in terms of like my NBA experience. But I'm obviously older, but. It's kind of like on par with the rest of my story and everything. I was 23 as a college senior, and that's just kind of how it goes. So, I wouldn't necessarily change it. It's just kind of different.
Yeah, we won't keep you for too much longer, but we'd be missing out if we didn't ask you quickly about Coach Spoelstra. What's it like? How's he as a coach compared to Beeline, or maybe what do you think some similarities are with him and how Juwan Howard's coaching now at Michigan?
I mean, they all have their differences, and then also like there's a common thread for sure between all 3 of them. I think one thing that I really respect and between all of them is just like their grind and understanding that it takes so much to win, and so much goes into winning and preparation, and also they all really have command over their program and understand how they want it to be run and have a vision for their team. So, and I've learned so much from Coach Spo. I definitely feel fortunate. I mean, talk about a guy who's, been to the mountaintop of the NBA multiple times and, 4 straight finals appearances and all that. So, it's just definitely been cool to learn from him.
Yeah, that's awesome. So before we go, we want to hit you with some quick trivia questions. Okay.
Oh dear. Yeah.
First one, the 4 NBA teams that don't end in S.
Sure. The Heat would be up there for sure. The Jazz would be on there as well. Sheesh.
You really should know the third one.
I really should know the third one. Well, now it's kind of throwing me out. I mean, I obviously know the team. It's just it's escaping me.
You played him last night.
You played him last night.
I don't even know who did we play last night. I'm all Thunder.
Yeah. And then the other one,
Thunder for sure.
The other one we don't want to give away, but it might be in the same state as you.
Oh yeah, for sure, the Magic. That makes sense.
You're very smart. That was easy.
Yeah.
Michigan, man, clearly great education.
That probably took a little bit longer than it should have. But that I feel like I've answered that question before, but it always just takes a little while.
Oh no, it's just like even you being in the NBA, it would take you a couple minutes to name all the NBA teams, right? Like you'd be like, oh shoot, the Grizzlies. I always forget the Grizzlies.
I get there eventually. It just takes a little time.
Yeah. Okay. This one is harder, so I don't expect you to get this, but maybe you do. Maybe you know your basketball trivia. Who's the only Hall of Famer to play Division III basketball in the NBA?
Oh, Terry Porter?
I don't think so. Is that right? I guess there's 2. Unless we can fact check it. We got our intern is fact checking right now.
Devin George isn't a Hall of Famer, but he played Division III.
Okay, so he's not a Hall of Famer, so he's not the answer.
Terry Porter, maybe? I don't know. Is Terry Porter in the Hall of Fame? I thought he played Division III.
We're looking it up. I have a different answer. He went to Illinois
Who are you
Wesleyan.
at?
I'll give you the college. He went to Illinois Wesleyan. Does
I
that
don't know.
help
I
you
got
out at
nothing.
all? That's not
No.
your neck of the woods. That's my neck of the woods. Jack Sikma.
That's a good one.
Does that ring
He's
any
got
bells?
that Patton and Sickman move, right? Like the face up.
Yeah. He was one of the first, exactly, like face up big men type of deal. And
Did Terry Porter not? I mean, he may not be a Hall of Famer. Terry Porter.
we're
I
looking.
thought he played Division III.
We're diving into the research right now. Terry Porter, though, Chicago guy. He's an AAU team here.
Oh, there you go.
Does-
Anyways, yeah.
He's in the Oregon Sports Hall of Fame, but not the.
And he went to the University of Portland. So
And he's the head
I don't
coach of
think-
Portland right now.
I don't think
I
Portland.
thought he played. Whatever. Anyways, all right, I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's all right.
Jack Sickman, that's a good one.
Jack Sikma, yeah. Use that one on Tyler Hero. See if he knows that answer.
You were right. He went to Wisconsin Stevens Point.
Oh, he went to Stevens Point.
Terry
It's-
Porter did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, last question for you. This should be the easiest one. Do you know my birthday? And the only reason why I'd be asking you is because you would know the answer without needing to know the answer, if that makes sense.
Is it April 22nd?
Yes, it is. Ding, ding, ding. He's a genius.
Happy early
That's
birthday, you guys.
exciting.
Thanks.
That's
Andrew.
exciting stuff, man.
I remember the only reason why I remember that is because Dockage posted something for your birthday, and I texted him. I said, dude, you got to be fucking kidding me right now. Half
good
serious.
stuff.
Like half serious.
That's good stuff, hey, man. That's a special day then. If both you and I are born on that day, that's big time stuff.
I know. It's like the shooter's birthday.
Exactly. Got to be able to shoot if you're born on April 22nd.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, happy early birthday. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, you're the man. Thanks
course,
for
man.
thanks for
Yeah,
coming on. We look forward to rooting you on in the All-Star game and the 3-point
Yeah,
contest.
give us a shout out in your post 3-point contest interview.
Yeah, all right. Appreciate you guys, man. Thank you.
See ya.
All right, man.
Thanks.
Take it easy. Here's to
You, Duncan Robinson, the player who played D3 and then at Michigan. Hey,
Michigan.
hey,
Now he's on the Heat.
hey.
Okay, did you guys buy our shirts yet?
Robinson.
Did you hear that sound? It's the sound of people not buying our shirts yet.
Yeah.
So you
Just
need to go ahead
buy
and
the
a shirt.
shirts. Buy the darn shirts.
Everyone's got $25 to spend.
It's not even 25. It's like 22 when
After
you use
the
our
discount.
code. Wait, what's our code?
DTL 15.
Yeah, what does it get you?
15% off.
Oh, yeah.
If you have a brain, just buy the shirt. Support your favorite podcast. Maybe we're your third favorite podcast.
If you benefit from oxygen, buy a podcast or buy a shirt.
buy a podcast.
Buy a podcast.
You can buy our podcast. We are for sale.
Yeah, we are for sale. Well, we'll talk with Lettermen Row, but we are for sale.
No, we're for sale.
We're for sale.
I think Letterman Row would be like, oh, shit, someone's buying. All right, cool.
Yeah. Here's to you, Duncan Robinson. Na, 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 na. Should I put that as the intro song? Or are we going to get arrested?
No, we won't. Yeah, throw it as the intro song. That's
All
fine.
All right.
We could do it for the outro. I don't know. All right.
Couple of closing statements.
Maybe if you were really good at this editing stuff, which I think you are, you could like sync it so that like as we left the interview, it like came into us singing that at the you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm going to do.
Right. No, like, and then it gets to the point where yeah.
I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right. So you now
Not
so you've
after
already
the
heard
first-
that. So you've already heard that now.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Oh yeah, they will have already heard it.
Yeah. So any closing statements?
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on record. Shoot me. Shoot. God spite me down if I'm wrong. Ohio State's winning their next game.
Smite.
Smite. Ohio State's winning their next game.
Who
I don't
we
even know who they
got? Who
play.
we got?
Don't know.
All right. I'm going to go on
It
record.
might be Northwestern.
I'm going to go on record. When does Northwestern play here? We got to go.
I know I'm already going.
Can I get a ticket?
I'll see.
Who are you
Eagle,
going with?
Eagle, if you're listening.
Who are you going with?
My family.
What the hell?
You can come.
I know. I'll go. Probably with my family. Can you get me locker room access?
I won't even go in the locker room. It's so small. It is.
I
It's
might
a
not
small
even be able to
locker room.
fit in the locker room.
Hey Siri, who does Ohio State basketball play next?
Ohio State battles Minnesota on Thursday at
Oh.
9:30.
At home.
L.
At home. No. I'm on record I didn't know who they played. We're winning our next game.
All right, I'm going on record. Oklahoma's going to beat LSU in the college football playoff. Worst take of all time.
Okay, if you're still listening to this, first of all, thank you. Second of all, buy our shirts. Third of all, Ohio State's winning their next game. Fourth of all, we'll talk to you guys later.
Fifth of all, we're going to do this next week too. Some of the worst takes we've ever had. Little preview for you.
What's my bad take?
I'll give an example. Not on the show.
Oh.
In my life, I once said a couple years ago that Klay Thompson was better than Kawhi.
Yeah,
that's a bad take. So we'll get to that.
Maybe it'll be next week when Ohio State loses.
Yeah.
They won't though. What should I do if they lose? I'll do something.
If Ohio State loses their next game, jump in the snow without your shirt.
No, that's.
You scared?
All right, fine.
Jump in the snow without your shirt.
Yeah.
And yell, I love Michigan.
No, what?
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah.
No. I'll just jump in the snow without a shirt. I'll do a snow angel without a shirt on.
Deal.
All right. If it's snowing. All right,
Here
here we
what
go.
if there's no snow? All right. Thank you guys for listening. Buckle up, drive the lane.
Buy our shirts.
Buy our shirts.
And wear them and tweet us that you wore them and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
All right.
That
We
you
hope
bought 'em.
you guys have a great week. We'll talk to you next Monday.
Go Buckeyes.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live, we've got the practice report, we got rapid reaction. Hey, and you know we got Buckeye IQ with Zach Bourne.
For sure, we got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.